Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yes, Have Some Podcast. Happy belated Ghostbusters Day. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the news and announcements that came out of Ghostbusters Day, as well as our live show in New York City and our coverage of the event that happened at the Ghostbusters Firehouse last weekend live on YouTube. We're also going to be getting into Disclosure Day, the brand new movie from Steven Spielberg, the sci-fi epic that has a lot of people talking. Do you believe in Steven Spielberg? Do you believe in aliens? Do you believe that Jacob Walsh loved this movie? We're going to get into it tonight. And then we're also going to be talking about the new trailer for a movie that I wasn't on my radar, but Whale Fall looks terrifying. I don't even know if I'm going to see it. I've never been more disturbed in my life. We're going to get into all of it right here on Yes, Have Some Podcast. Let's go.
Yes, have some.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to YHS Podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. Joining me, as always, my co-hosts, Jacob Walsh. Jacob, how are you, man?
I'm good, but I'm wondering why in the list of in our rundown of stuff tonight, it doesn't have Abby's t-shirt.
Abby's
So I
t-shirt.
want to know what this shirt is. What is happening?
About it. Also, thank you for giving Craig shit. I wanted to say I felt muted that whole time, and I was very upset.
No. Well,
I don't know if people will see my face and how upset I was.
We cover a lot of topics here.
You did a good job,
I think
Craig.
it was okay.
Yeah, we got to run it down.
But I'm just curious.
Good job. I'm just being a big dog, honestly.
Okay, explain this shirt though. What is
Big
this?
Dog.
Where did it come from?
You don't remember Big Dog? Big
No.
Dog's like, don't stay on the porch. It was like a 90s like line of clothing that like featured the like mentality of being a big dog that people really gravitated towards. So you can read this. It says Big Dog.
The one
It
that's
says-
large and in charge.
Yeah.
2, head honcho.
3, a fellow who's way up there.
Okay, so I just have a couple of questions.
Yeah, what are your questions?
Where did you get this shirt?
I ordered it off of eBay.
Okay, that where it raises more questions. Did
Yeah.
you specifically get on eBay and type in Big Dog
Big Dog
clothing,
t-shirt?
or did this pop
Yeah.
up?
No, I searched for it because it was 8 a.m. and I was taking
Okay.
care of my mom and I was at her
Mhm.
house and
It felt
I
like a big dog.
I was being a big
You're
dog.
being a big dog.
I took
Okay.
care of her from
I've
driving
never
her
heard
to
of.
the hospital. Yeah, and I was like,
Mhm.
I deserve a fucking big dog shirt for the
Yeah.
stuff that I've seen.
Abby, you're gonna hate this article I just found. It says how Big Dog became a symbol for white male America in the 90s.
Oh no, do I have to take
Wait,
this
wait.
off?
Hold on,
No,
hold on.
it's
Though.
not. No, Jacob, go for it.
Well, also, I don't know if you realize, Abby. I don't know if it's just because of the way you're sitting or because you've cut the sleeves off.
Yeah.
And since you've cut the sleeves off, it rolls a little bit, and it looks like
dog?
it says Instagram dog, IG dog.
I'm a fucking IG dog, y'all. Yes. Happy
No, it was like a
I think it's cool.
90s.
I think it's cool. I was
Thank you,
just
Jacob.
curious as to what
Thank
it was.
you, Jacob.
It was a
And yeah.
90s kind of like you saw the shirts everywhere, but there was also like a lot of boot. Like every gas station had like an off-brand Big Dog shirt. Abby, I support it. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Now,
Cool.
are you the big dog? Is that what you're saying?
I am the big dog. I like to bring
Okay.
it. We had a conversation, you and I, about bringing it to the podcast prior to this. And
did.
that's why I wore my big dog shirt. And that's why I'm here. And happy Pride to everyone.
There you go. Well, we had a great time in New York. We saw so many friends, made some new ones. We did our live show at Rodney's for the second year in a row. Special guest Alex Brewer from Mondo, and then obviously Celeste O'Connor, who plays Lucky in Ghostbusters Afterlife and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It was really a great time. I think we'll probably do a deeper dive, maybe on Patreon. You guys can sign up for patreon.com/yeshavesome. But what I did want to get into a little bit is some of the sights and sounds of Ghostbusters Day. And the big announcement for the new Ghostbusters animated series, which is Ghostbusters Night Shift, coming to Netflix next year. But Jacob, start us off. We covered Ghostbusters Day. We hosted the live stream on Ghostbusters.com and Ghostbusters Facebook. And we did it. We survived. How was your Ghostbusters Day? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a really good time. It's always fun in New York. It was a little hot, but that's okay. it's just always fun to be out there. It's fun to do Ghostbuster stuff. And listen, we've been doing this for 10 years and they finally are making us official. And we hosted the official live stream and that just felt really cool. And it was really nice to be included in that kind of way and be behind a barrier and not in a large mass of people. And it was just
We
fun.
love barrier.
We escaped the fan pen.
It was just good. Yeah, we're out of the fan pen and into the fire.
The other pen. The
Big dog.
producer pen. The big dog pen. Yeah.
The big
No,
dog
dude,
pen.
I mean, I said it on the live stream,
Uh-huh.
and this is something that I 100% believe in my everyday life. And anytime we travel, you guys know this, one of my favorite things in the world is to go to filming locations. It literally like I get super excited about it. No matter what kind of trip we're on, I'm looking to see what was filmed there. And I always feel like some of these places aren't talked about enough or respected enough, or I'm like, how come there's not a line of people here? Like I would think so. So the fact that like Ghostbusters, which is, you know, one of my favorite movies of all time, has this big celebration at the firehouse and the sign is hanging from the firehouse and they make such a big deal out of it. It's awesome.
You know, it's
Hell yeah.
actually that's a really good point, and I don't know if we've really ever discussed it too deeply about, like, obviously we've had a lot of discussions about the rise of green screens and digital effects and CGI and all that, but you know, even something like Star Wars, like knowing that they're in Tunisia in the middle of the desert, or you know, wherever they actually filmed these movies, it brings something tangible to it, and it is really fun to go to filming locations. And like when you're in New York, I mean, there's tons of them, but specifically for Ghostbusters, it feels like every corner, it's like, there's Dana's apartment, there's Peter's apartment, there's the
You
library.
accidentally walk up on a Ghostbusters filming location, as we did when we were in Little Italy.
Yeah. Yeah, legit to reference Answer the Call. It's like the ley lines theory of like, this is a space where a lot of stuff has happened in reality and history. And it's like grounded people who are still coming today. And like, we feel a little piece of it when we come out for Ghostbusters Day. I think it's really cool that you pointed that out because the architecture, the fact that it's still there, that New York City is like rich with history, and that the firehouse is so fucking cool. I loved being outside of it, and I loved being with y'all and working. It was a good job.
It never gets old either. And the firehouse is so iconic, and it feels kind of unchanged. You know, like how many people do you hear talking about just walking through Tribeca and kind of stumbling upon the firehouse and going, holy shit, like, you know what it is, right? When you see it, obviously it has a big Ghostbusters sign hanging off the side of it too, if you like didn't know what it was. But it was a really fun day. They had a whole rundown of announcements. You guys can go back and you know, watch all the coverage if you want to, but obviously this was the 1 year anniversary of Ghostbusters Give Back, which is the huge charitable program launched by Ghost Corps and Sony and kind of the brainchild of, you know, Jason Reitman and all them, to you know, really say like, hey, all these Ghostbusters groups and franchises are raising money. Jason likes to joke about let's make it a competition, but it was, and like they raised a lot of money. I think all told it was like $500,000 over a year, which is
it was a lot.
insane. And Sony donated money. Now, we did not come, like, they handed out these ghost traps, these golden ghost trap trophies, and we did not win one.
I was about to say we didn't come home with one.
We did not come home with one, and this hurts me as a collector, as somebody who's competitive. I will say though,
well, I think we took ourselves out of the competition because we thought it wasn't fair, right?
We were behind the barrier.
Listen, I just want to say
that was our treat.
This is what I was thinking about.
You're about to go ahead.
Listen. We were very happy to be part of the program, and yes, we did remove ourselves from the running. Congratulations!
But you just wanted to say that technically we would have gotten the ghost trap.
I just want the information out there.
You want the information out there that if we wouldn't have taken ourselves out of the running because we thought it maybe wasn't the fairest thing, that we were in it.
Listen,
that we
You want-
would have a ghost trap right now.
You want to let everyone know that you are the leading scorer at the halfway point of the game.
Listen,
Yeah.
Even the score's 1-0.
first of all, we had a lot of support from Sony and Ghost Core to do our streamathon, so it is a little bit of an
Right.
unfair advantage.
Which is a little why it was unfair. Yeah.
Do you think
But it only took us 6 hours to
would it be reasonable? Would it be
Crazy,
reasonable, Abby,
Yes.
to ask the Virginia Ghostbusters to carve a giant asterisk in their trophy?
or share custody?
Yeah. Yeah. I just want a trophy. I want a big check.
No.
I just want to hold one.
We just wanted the big check,
Not at
even
all.
if
Yeah.
it wasn't for any value. We
Yeah,
just
it's
wanted to
so
hold a big check.
We just
Yes.
want the big check.
It is
Um,
on my
yeah.
bucket list.
No, it was
Clearly, we are being silly. It was
Yeah.
awesome. It was amazing.
It was awesome. It's really cool to see what our fandom has accomplished.
Yeah.
It's nice that there's something like good out there that's rippled out from our love of Ghostbusters. I think that's really sweet.
It's actually really smart of Jason and Ghost Core to add the kind of competition side to it because even before this, sometimes people treated Ghostbusters like it's a competition anyway, which is like a little fucked up, you know. So making them be competitive about like something that is a good thing, that's very smart. It's like redirect everybody's obsessiveness
Energy.
into
positive
like
motivation.
doing something good instead of complaining about the Southwest Orlando faction extreme Ghostbusters, you know?
Yeah,
which
Less-
is one
Which
of my,
probably
more-
exists.
fun friction.
it was amazing. It was an amazing day. Congratulations to the Buffalo Ghostbusters who did take home the top prize.
Yeah.
And they put a lot of work into
I mean,
organizing.
everybody. I know we're being silly, but everybody
Yeah.
did. It was a lot
of
of.
course, it was
An
amazing.
intense amount of
It's a
work,
lot
yeah.
of money. Yeah.
Mhm.
And shout out to Starlight who came out to our event at Rodney's. And I know they did a hospital visit with Gil and Jason and Celeste, and like it's cool to see that much positivity coming out of Ghostbusters. And then, of course, we got the big announcement for Ghostbusters Night Shift, the new Netflix animated series. There's not that much information out yet. We know it's going to be on Netflix next year. We know we have a new logo. Abby, what did you think of the design of the new logo for the show?
I thought it was super duper exciting. I thought it was extreme, and it had kind of like a modern comic book element to it. But the thing that I loved the most was the talons, the claw-like hand that is so reminiscent of a terror dog, which, as we all know, I'm big dog. I was gonna call myself top dog. I am a huge fan
Top
of
terror dog?
terror dogs,
Yeah.
and it's cool to see a little bit of the old being brought in. Yeah, I am excited. Mostly, I think that the title of the show is really good. Night Shift is a really good Lucy Dacus song, and it's also the title of a Stephen King compilation of short stories. And
It's also a
it just
Commodore
feels-
song.
Yeah, it's a good name. And it feels appropriate when you break it down, thinking about nighttime. I think I said this on our stream. It like sets the scene kind of for scary things, and then Shift, you think about how much work goes into being a Ghostbuster and making those things happen. And I'm just excited, dude. I like the people behind it. They're like Adult Swim affiliated, and I think that just gets my gears going.
Yeah, it's the showrunners Ben Hibben and Elliot Kalin were there, these guys have a great track record through animation and comedy. Jacob, the one thing Jason and Gil kept saying is that this is a laugh out loud, funny, and very scary entry point into the Ghostbusters canon. That's really all we have to go off of, but that's exciting. Right?
Yeah, I mean, like on one hand, like of course that's what they're going to say, but I trust the two of them.
It's no good.
No, but it's like you trust the
It's
two of
pretty
them.
mid.
They did say like this is exactly the kind of cartoon you would want it to be. Like I don't know exactly what that means because I think everybody probably is wanting something different, but I like it. I like the title. I usually hate titles to like subtitles for movies and shows, but Night Shift is I think it makes a lot of sense, even though I'm sure it means something completely different than what we all are thinking because we haven't seen it yet. The logo takes like a minute to kind of get your head around. There's like weird stuff going on. There's like bits of that, Sony animation thrown in. The Pterodog hand, the Slimer mouth. There's weird stuff happening. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it all means.
Me too. And I think a lot of people are already piecing together that because it is coming from Sony Animation and the kind of the design, the pixelated design overlay on the logo, people are already saying Spider-Verse. We'll see.
I think it's going to cross over into it.
No, it's going to look like it.
It's going to look like it. Yeah,
yes, it's going to be reminiscent and evocative. On.
The Sony Animation, they've made Spider-Verse, TMNT, and Demon Hunters, and they all look the same.
Yeah.
So
and all of those are things that I love. So I'm excited.
And we're assuming this is going to look like that too.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's been
exciting.
There, we've had 40 years of Ghostbusters, different iterations, different incarnations. We have not had an animated series since Extreme Ghostbusters, which was 1997, which was 30 years ago almost. So it's time. Like Ghostbusters, the whole world, it just lends itself to animation. So it's going to be great. Jason and Gil, I almost said Jill, almost combined it. Jason and Gil are going to be doing some sort of presentation at the Annecy Animation Festival that happens in France in just a couple of weeks. So I don't think that'll be public facing, but we might hear some more, news or information or something coming out of that. So we'll obviously be covering it. What else though from Ghostbusters Day? We had friends from literally all over the world, from Germany, from the UK. Some of them came bearing gifts, which is not necessary, but always appreciated. Jacob, it's always fun, especially our UK friends who we met on the set of Frozen Empire. It's always fun to catch up with those guys.
Yeah, those guys are all really fun. Nick and Simon and Chris and that whole crew. And they all had gifts for us. There were gift bags, there were T-shirts, just all really fun stuff. But I had a couple things I wanted to just show because I thought these gifts were like particularly thoughtful, and I was like, oh, people do listen to the show sometimes. So
we ranked
it's just like
gifts.
It's just cool stuff. Anybody who listens knows that we're big like physical media guys, and like all three of us have been talking lately about trying to get more physical media and more Blu-ray and just expanding all of our views and things we watch and stuff. And then Nick brought me 3 Blu-rays, and he remembered me talking about some of these movies on the show from a while back. But he brought first The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, which is a Dario Argento film, and I talked about this. It was shown on Joe Bob.
Yeah.
Great movie. Great film. And then also a Dario Argento film that I have not seen yet is Inferno. This is supposed to be like kind of like his follow-up to Suspiria. Supposed to be good. Haven't seen it. And then he brought the wildest choice possible, which I've never talked about on the show. This says a lot probably about me and
Nick as a gift.
He assumed. He just assumed. And he literally was like, hey, I don't know if you ever heard of this movie. And if I had not heard of this movie and I put this movie on, I would be like, holy fuck, I can't believe this was a gift. But I have seen this movie before. Thank you, Joe Bob Briggs. It is called The Baby.
No, shit. Fuck. I literally pointed that out. I'm sorry to have this reaction, Jacob. I just got excited because I pointed that out today at Videodrome and I said, has Jacob seen this? This reminds me of Jacob. Continue.
Because of a dinosaur movie called Baby.
I apologize for interrupting
you're good.
you.
No, you're good. This movie is insane and weird and gross, and it's like about an adult who he's a 21-year-old man with the mind of an infant, and it's like a severely abusive situation that he's in. But all of the ways you think this could be weird, it's weird. It is
even more weird.
Hey, I might not ever see this again, but I'm glad to own this. Thank you, Nick. This is such a weird movie.
Couple things. So first of all,
go for it.
Nick has a great YouTube channel, Popular Tripe.
Yes.
Does a lot of movie and Ghostbusters coverage. We've had him on before. We'll have him on again. Abby did see the rental for Baby today, and we both made the same joke of like the dinosaur. The dinosaur movie Baby.
Yeah.
But then, Jacob, have you seen this other movie? I don't know what it's called, but there's a dinosaur and there's Whoopi Goldberg. Have you seen that movie?
Oh, Theodore Rex. Yeah, I own it.
Okay.
Nice.
I own 6 copies of it.
I have 16 copies.
I own it on VHS. Yeah, it's called Theodore Rex.
Very cool. All right.
Not
That's
good.
awesome.
but-
I wish you'd been there with us today, Jacob.
Yeah, me
But
too.
those are great. Sorry. Those are great, thoughtful gifts. And those
Yeah.
are really great people that I'm really grateful that we met. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just want to do one more from Chris. He brought this book, and he had messaged me about this book a while back. And I haven't given this book a full, read through or anything yet, but it's called The Jaws of Death, shark book. You can see, though, at the bottom, if you're watching, there's a huge warning on it, and it says this book contains disturbing photos. And now listen, I've seen plenty of books that have images of like shark attack stuff in it. Hey, if you watch Jaws, Brody looks through a book that's got a bunch of shark attack images in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to show any of these off, but first of all, there are some of the same photos from Jaws in this.
That's cool. That's cool.
There are some absolutely devastating photos in this book.
Death Museum.
Death
there
Museum
there
vibes. That's
are-
what I'm saying. Don't show me. If you do,
I'm not going
looking.
to. I'm not going to show them because I don't even like looking at some of these are really gross. But they're in particular there are a couple photos of a body pulled out of a crocodile. All kinds of there's shit in here. There's some rough shit in here.
Sounds like whale fall.
Other than the photos, though, I believe this is kind of like a scientific. It's just about sharks and about what causes shark attacks and that kind of stuff. Also a wild gift, but
I'll tell you what causes shark
These people
attack.
know me. These people know me well. Thank you, Chris.
These people
Don't
go
fuck
to the
around.
ocean and start flopping around.
Just don't go in the water.
Don't go.
Just
in
don't
there.
go in there.
Don't go in there. Your food. You will become food.
Yeah, I highlighted it on Instagram, but Chris and Nick both brought me some really cool Batman stuff. And those are just thoughtful dudes. Really awesome
Thoughtful
stuff.
ass dudes. Yeah. I showed my stuff off on Toy Anxiety, and Chris's daughter gave me a set of earmuffs that are Garfield earmuffs, and I wanted to update everyone. I ordered today some gold bedazzling
the outfit?
rhinestones. Yeah, well, I'm creating a look based off of the earmuffs. I have bought like sticky gold bedazzling gems that are like adhesive, so I'm going to cover the entire top with that and kind of make it blinged out. And I'm really excited. I'm going to wear it at Comic-Con when I walk around, and I don't want to hear people. I'm going to have headphones in, Garfield's on, and that's how people
Just
will know
calling them
to
Garfields.
fucking talk to me.
Had my Garfield.
Are you wearing? Abby, bring your Garfields.
Abby, do you have your Garfields? 100%. That
Going
means
on a
no.
drive.
It means I am.
She's got her Garfields on.
Abby, do you have anything else to show off?
Let's see. Yeah, actually, I referenced it. I already have a reference today. You and I, Craig, went to Videodrome in Atlanta, and it was a pretty busy in spite of the fact that it was kind of raining off and on. But we got out there, we got a parking spot, we walked, and there was a nice selection of stuff outside.
Yeah, the sidewalk
mostly
sale.
DVDs. It was a sidewalk sale that we went to, and they'd been advertising it on Instagram for a little while, and I'd been following it. So it was nice to actually make it there. The thing that I went for was this T-shirt, which I'm going to show off. And Jacob, I think you might be jealous.
I know. I almost sent you this. I know what it is.
Should I have gotten you one? Now I feel like an
No, it's
asshole.
okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, it's
Okay.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
a fucking amazing house.
That's such a good color.
I know, dude. Purple's my favorite, and so it's just beautiful. And
know
it fills
it's
me
cool.
with joy. Yeah, I want to wear it at
good
Comic-Con
shirt.
with my Garfields. So cool. And I thought
Just
there
all
was
different cat things. You're just like,
I saw
You got to
cat.
find some shorts and some
Dude,
some
yeah.
shoes that are cat themed.
May as well get the tail. Just kidding. Jacob, maybe I'll go back and see if they have those shirts. They have them in, I think, a couple sizes. But yeah,
Yeah.
I could go back.
Now,
Yeah,
there
I'll
was a
take one.
selection of movie posters. Jacob, I was talking to you before we started about just old, great one sheets. And like even low budget movies you've never heard of had incredible posters. And it's funny when you flip through it because it's jarring. It's all these movies from the 70s and 80s. And then you hit like the Halloween H2O poster and you're like, oh, it's the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not talking about, Jaws of Death gross. I'm talking about like, this
Josh
is
Hartnett's haircut.
Yeah, this is when they discovered Photoshop.
Wait, is that H2O or is
No,
that
it isn't. Oh,
Resurrection?
you're on. It's H2O.
Yeah, okay.
But they had a poster for this movie Roller Boogie, which looks like a porn. It's not. It's a movie about roller skating from 1979. It's a teen musical exploitation film about roller disco, and it's starring the one and only friend of the podcast, Linda Blair.
Cool.
Yes.
Why do I bring this up? I bring this up because Jacob, you told me last night you might partake in a different kind of roller girl. Let me
also about porn.
Back up. Beep, beep.
You did not partake in Roller Girl.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I have to look up Roller Girl more. I remember the poster, but
Roller Boogie.
Roller Boogie. Got it.
But Jacob, did you guys?
Yeah, we watched Boogie Nights last night.
Nice.
Fucking.
I've seen it multiple times.
Obviously.
Jess had never seen Boogie Nights.
Did she enjoy it?
I mean, she loved it. How can you not?
It's so good.
It's so weird because like it's been a while since I've seen it, and it's weird because like the first half of the movie is so funny. It is just like, I mean, it's super funny, and it also seemingly nothing is. You're like, this is Paul. This is the guy who made There Will Be Blood, and One Battle After Another, and like you're like. The first half of the movie, it doesn't seem like anything's being taken seriously, and you're just like, we're just along on this ride. But then, like halfway through, it starts getting like heavy, and like shit starts happening, and bad things start happening. But that movie's great. I've always enjoyed it, and
Listen,
I laugh all the way through that movie.
I laugh all the way through it. First of all, the movie's like it kind of feels like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like a ragtag group of guys with great music.
It kind of is. That's the thing I told. That's the
Just
thing I said to Jess. I was like, everybody's a weird little guy in this movie. Every single character is a weird little guy.
And listen,
it's a movie for weird little guys.
I want to put this out here. I want to put this out in the world. I would still take William H. Macy to a New Year's Eve party, even though he kind of is a bummer in that movie at New Year's Eve. But I'd still hang out.
Best thing that happens at the party.
I'd still take him.
It really made me. This movie really makes me miss Philip Seymour Hoffman.
He's unreal. Everyone's unreal. You know what else it makes me miss? Mark Wahlberg. Even though he's still here, but at some point he decided.
Yeah, but he hasn't.
The building, yeah.
He hasn't been fun in a movie.
He hasn't been fun since The Departed.
Yeah.
And
he's barely in that.
It's been a while.
Boogie Nights is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's
great.
This is where I developed my all-time crush on Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
And Heather Graham.
Wow, what a person to look up to in that film.
I didn't say
she's the worst.
Awesome.
She's the worst person in the movie.
Dude, she's Mother. I love her so much.
She's Mother, except for her own children, who she's like abandoned.
Right.
But how good is Burt Reynolds? Like I always think of the hot tub scene where Mark Wahlberg's explaining. He's like, I just closed my eyes, Jack, and it's like big bright letters. It's like fireworks. It's Dirk Diggler. Burt Reynolds like, Dirk Diggler. It's just so awesome. I love it. God, tonight.
I'm a fucking idiot. That's one of my favorite things to do when I'm shamed.
John C. Reilly.
Dude, the thing that's really, but the thing that's great about Philip Seymour Hoffman is like you can watch the whole movie and just watch him in the background because he's just in the background for most of it. There was a part I noticed yesterday that I'd never noticed before. Whenever they're winning, whenever they go to the award show for the first time, and he keeps winning, he wins like 3 awards. When he wins that third award, everybody at the table stands up and he goes around the whole table and he hugs everybody at the table.
Yeah.
And then he's walking up, and the last person that he did not hug is Philip Seymour Hoffman. And he's like, got his hands out to him, and he just ignores him and walks by him. And it's like,
Oh
you
my
can
God.
watch just him in the background of this whole movie.
Yeah, he's like Shane Piggy. It's great. I love
It's
watching
great.
him. I love that movie.
I really like John C. Reilly. When
Mhm.
I saw that
Same.
movie, I don't think I saw it in theaters. I would have probably been too young, but I got it on
No.
DVD very quickly.
Mhm.
And when he's having the conversation at the pool party with Mark Wahlberg, and he asks him if he's seen Star Wars, and he says,
Oh, the first meeting between
the first
two.
meeting. And when he says, a lot of people tell me I look like Han Solo. It's the funniest. It's so.
Yeah.
And then I know we're just
And
reminiscing. about,
they like instantly become best friends.
yeah.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
when they're doing the song
template
from,
for Step Brothers.
when they're doing the song from Transformers, when
Yeah.
they're singing, and obviously Mark Wahlberg sounds like awful, and they're all coked out, and that dance John C. Reilly is doing, it's just so, because you're right though, the last 20-30 minutes of that movie are very intense. It
Gets really, really crazy, but then it has kind of like a happy ending. You know, like
right.
the last few minutes, everybody kind of gets back together and
Yeah.
good things happen. But there
Don
is
Yeah.
like
Cheadle starts a stereo store, obviously.
he's so funny in this too. Whenever he's at the party and he's sitting there and he's got that wig on and that insane outfit and he's just sitting there by himself, they just cut to him and he's just sitting there looking silly.
So before we
Yeah.
talk about Disclosure Day, I think this leads me to something I don't know if I've ever thought of this before, but I want to put this out to you guys. There should be like some sort of retroactive award show.
Like, this is new to me, so I want to give it an award show.
No, not
Well, like an
necessarily that.
award show where it's like, hey, we realize Jaws should have won over One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest
Every
50
year
years ago.
they should do a 50. Now that movies have been out for long enough, starting next year, they should do the retroactive Oscars,
Mhm.
where we can reassess
Yeah.
and
You see how things sat
we
over
fucked up.
time, because there are some awards out there for movies that like at the time they thought was a big thing, and then it's like
Crash.
10 years later they're like, oh, this
Crash.
is junk and nobody thinks about it.
Yes.
But here's a movie that
Green
should have
Room.
won that year.
Yeah.
Or-
Mhm.
let's talk about 1997 Oscars. Here's who was nominated for Best Picture. First of all, Boogie Nights not even nominated, so that's a
These
travesty.
are the corrections Oscars, is what you're saying.
The corrections is what we'll call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I want a correction.
Yeah.
Nominated for Best Picture in 1997, Fargo, great movie.
Yeah.
Jerry Maguire,
Yeah.
Secrets and Lies, no one knows what that is.
Okay.
Shine, no one knows what that is. And then the winning Best Picture the winning movie was The English Patient, which there's a whole episode of Seinfeld about how fucking boring and dumb it is.
Okay.
Elaine.
I would have thought Fargo. If I would have had to like guess, I would have thought Fargo won its category.
That would be my personal pick for sure.
I mean, did Boogie Nights? It's literally one of the greatest movies of all time. It didn't get nominated for anything. This is ridiculous. That's why we need
Is
to-
it? But are there rules about? I don't know what the regulations and rules are for something. Like it's got a dick in it. Is there something against the? Well, I mean, like what's it rated?
It's rated R.
Is it just rated R? Okay.
So
Yeah, I
wait,
don't know.
do you think they're? Hold on.
You think
You
the
might
show
have-
has dick
no.
means you
You're
can't-
onto something. Is there some sort of unwritten rule in the Academy, guys? If there's a dick,
Yeah, I mean,
throw it out of
maybe,
here.
Let's
but
check every
maybe,
Oscar
like maybe,
winning
like
film.
I'm not saying nudity in general, but it's like I don't know. I think I don't know enough about the Oscars and what the I don't like saying the word rules. The like stipulations for being
Yeah.
eligible are, you know what I mean? Like, because there
Criteria.
there is criteria for eligibility and stuff like that, and maybe it didn't fit for some reason.
Well, I can
That's
tell one reason why it didn't fit.
curious.
It's 13 inches.
Full frontal for me means get an Oscar. Yeah. That makes it real.
I mean, it's
People
not a
versus
real
Larry
dick,
Flint
so-
also came out. that year. Which, if Abby, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. That's a good movie though.
No, that's on my list. It's about to be. It's going to be on my handwritten list right now.
Oh wait, this is actually Burt Reynolds was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and he hated that movie. He fucking hated.
Did
it.
he?
He was a cranky
Why?
guy. I don't know.
But why do you hate the movie?
We gotta
Because
look
it was like the only thing that people. I don't know if I've seen any other Burt Reynolds movies.
Oh, interesting.
Could you name
You're
another
kicked
Burt
out of the
Reynolds
Georgia
movie?
Ghostbusters?
That already happened. All of us were.
Seriously, like, can you name another Burt? Hey, Deliverance. I've seen
Deliverance.
That. Wait, is he in that? Yeah,
Smokey and the Bandit.
I've not seen that.
The one where they drive cars.
Nope. Same
Hey,
one.
speaking of movies that drive cars, let's talk about Disclosure Day.
You guys
That
ready?
was I
They
found
do
a
drive
segue.
car.
Well, I'm glad
They
you
do
just
drive
liked.
No. There's no segues in the movie. There's a car chase and a train.
There's train. There's
There
fucking
is an
train.
invisible
Trains are
segue.
back.
You guys missed it. It's with the fire truck.
It's invisible.
There's one guy.
It's in the fire truck.
It's like a George Lucas level.
Well,
ET's
spoilers
on
for
a Segway.
Disclosure Dave, by the way.
ET's on a Segway.
That's the spoiler.
Happened. Yes, we're gonna get into Disclosure Day, the new Steven Spielberg movie. We're gonna spoil the shit out of it, and we're gonna do that right now. All right, here we go. Disclosure Day. Very secretive film. All we knew over the last couple years was Steven Spielberg was returning to his roots, making an alien movie. He's made a couple. You might have heard of them: Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark. Does not have aliens, but
I was like, wait, right?
Crystal
You
Skull
mean
does.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
Fuck
Yeah.
that joke.
War of the
would-
Worlds.
That joke would have been way better if I just went straight to.
Do you want to
Crystal
try it
Skull.
again and just cut it out? Or
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
good.
3812.
Before we kind of get into it, obviously we've talked about Steven Spielberg a ton.
Yeah.
He's my personal favorite director of all time. I did
Mhm.
just order the box set, the 4K Steelbook set.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't have, but I literally don't own any of those movies in a premium 4K format.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes with Jaws, E.T., Close Encounters,
Jurassic
Yeah.
Park,
Jurassic Park, Raiders,
Schindler's List,
Schindler's List, War of the Worlds,
War of the Worlds.
Saving
which
Private
is
Ryan.
weird.
One little outlier there.
Well, hold on. What's the outlier? War of the Worlds.
For the world.
I don't
When's
love
the
War of the Worlds.
When's the last time you watched it?
A long time ago, maybe
So
25 years ago.
I wouldn't say I love it, but there's some great stuff in that movie.
Okay.
You should rewatch it and just see like all the tripod stuff. Whenever they first come up, all the shit that happens on the boat, that stuff is all pretty good.
I'll have to go back.
It's not perfect. What are you saying, Abby?
I got a distinct craving to watch it again after seeing Disclosure Day. I was like,
Yeah.
I would really like to go. And yeah, that was when we were all talking on the way home.
Yeah.
You know what I think the main problem with War of the Worlds is sort of and it's kind of it ties back to Disclosure Day, because the thing is that Steven Spielberg that's not the alien situation that he believes in. You know what I mean? Like the aliens showing up and fucking everything up and eating
Right.
everybody. That is
Yeah.
not like in
As villains.
Steven Spielberg's heart. That is not what he believes. And
No.
when you watch E.T. and you watch Close Encounters and you watch this movie, that's pretty evident.
Absolutely. The extraterrestrial life that is visiting Earth is here to teach us a fucking lesson about humanity. Before we kind of get into it, though, let's kind of tee this up a little bit. Steven Spielberg, from a screenplay by David Koepp, longtime collaborator. David Koepp wrote Jurassic 1 and 2, War of the Worlds, Crystal Skull, and Disclosure Day. So
I think this is fifth Steven Spielberg
And he's done a
collaboration.
ton of great stuff. This movie stars Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, and Coleman Domingo. The basic plot is that the world is about to engage in nuclear warfare. So it's a documentary, I guess, about now. Russia, North Korea, and basically we're on the brink. And this movie centers around Josh O'Connor's character, who is a whistleblower, essentially, for this organization, who knows the secrets of alien life on Earth and is doing everything to protect these secrets from humanity because, God forbid, we should be given the truth. What would we do? Society itself would crumble. Religious organizations would falter. And God, I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I do want to kind of talk about it later about what we think would happen. But before we get into all that, Jacob, I know you're excited about this movie. What did you think of Disclosure Day?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty nervous going into this because, and I've been nervous since I found out about this, just because, like, listen, Steven Spielberg is, what is he, in his 70s?
He's got to be close to 80, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just getting up there in age, and I don't know how many Steven Spielberg films we're going to get from him. And, you know, for a while, for the last, you know, couple of movies he's done, not that there's anything, I like The Fabelmans. I thought that was a fun movie. I liked it. I've only seen it once, but I've said, like, man, you know what, it'd be really cool if Steven Spielberg just does like one more movie that feels like a Steven Spielberg movie to me. And you know, Fabelmans might have some of that, but nothing really in the last, I don't know, 15 years or whatever feels like you're watching E.T. or Jurassic Park or any of the first, you know, batch of films. But I've just been like kind of nervous about it. I'm like, oh man, I've seen, you know, we were just talking about War of the Worlds, not like completely hitting the mark. I'm just like, what's this going to be? And then when we saw the first trailer, though it's very intriguing and I love all this like discourse about it, and there's so many people out there that are like, this is real, this is happening now because they're trying to warn, like, it's all bullshit, but I love that there's like this much happening over a Steven Spielberg movie. But that trailer didn't, like, I didn't watch that trailer and say, wow, this is going to be the best thing ever. I was just like, cool, I'm in. It looks like I'm interested. We'll go from there. I loved this movie. I thought it was really great. I was in it. I was in with it from the beginning to the end. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I think there's some structural issues, maybe some pacing things, but those things, though they're there, they don't really bother me because the feeling I had at the end of the movie was a good one. I don't have too much, like, the negative stuff is not bothering me. I'm not dwelling. Sort of like how I felt with Sinners, you know, like I think Sinners has all kinds of issues with it, but it's like the movie makes you feel so good and you like it so much that it's like, you're just like, well, who cares?
Right. It's just like as a standalone piece of art, as a piece
it
of
doesn't bother me.
Right.
Exactly.
Abigail.
I have to say, well said, Jacob. First off, cheers to that. Secondly, I found my headphones case. I'm very excited about that. I had lost it.
Wow.
It just appeared.
The real disclosure.
It was, yeah, I know. It was literally under my fish police, my squirt badge. I just knocked so much shit over.
Abby says 12 insane things an episode.
Fish police.
It was under my fish police squirt badge, obviously.
Squirt badge. Yes. Well said, Jacob. And I would paraphrase what you just said as Steven Spielberg has not released a movie in a long time that has balls and that is DTF like this movie is. This movie has car chases that are sexy and awesome. You've got a nice train scene. Like, this is the stuff that Spielberg has always done and made iconic. And to have him doing it again with two really great stars in the film, Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor. I absolutely fell for both of them. I loved, I know we'll get into some of the deeper meanings in the movie, but I love to watch a woman over 35 who is the star and the heart of a movie that like slowly ascends to that role, to go from just kind of being like almost laughed at to being, holy shit, she's it. Like, she's the most important character. That's the shit that I was eating up about this movie and that I absolutely loved. And I can't be upset. I think that one of my first quotes after the movie to Craig, which we both are fans of The Morning Show, I said, this is like The Morning Show, but if they did aliens. That's for anyone out there who would appreciate or has seen that show. But it's like the newsroom aspect of it is so interesting. And to see all of the world kind of come together over an event, like we're feeling it right now with the Knicks winning the basketball championship, the NBA championship, which I actually watched last night. But like to see that kind of thing where everyone is engaged with something and everyone's looking at the same screen and talking about it, like to have Spielberg behind that, like the engineer that can still get in the zeitgeist like that. Like, I think it's fucking awesome. Yeah. And I think for us little Spielberg fans, we're probably really happy. I am.
Is there an official name for are we Spielbergers? Is that what we are?
Spielbergians?
There's a video of him.
Spielbergers?
First of all,
Spielbergers.
Steven Spielberg. He's been doing
Has he ever opened up a burger restaurant? Sorry, continue.
He will. There's a video he did. It's on YouTube where he's giving a tour of some of his archives. I don't know if you saw that one, Jacob, but they're talking about a Ralph McQuarrie concept art piece of the mothership from Close Encounters, and like you just feel like Steven Spielberg could be the most I don't give a fuck, jaded, I've done it all, who cares, but like you kind of get a sense that like at the end of the day he's just a kid with a little 8mm camera like making movies in the backyard, and it's almost hard to even be critical in any kind of like traditional sense because you just know how much he loves the subject matter.
Well, that is one of the things that is undoubtedly like watching this movie, especially when you get to the third act. I was talking with another friend earlier and I said, watching this movie, especially once they're back like in Emily Blunt's character's like childhood home, you know that scene in Hook where the lost boy is like expecting Peter Pan's face, and then he says like, "Oh, there you are, Peter."
Yeah, that's
literally how I felt watching this movie, because I was like, "Oh, this is like it's exactly what you just said." E.T. came out 30 something years ago, whatever. Like those movies that we like as adults wish more movies felt like, E.T., Jurassic Park, Jaws, that Steven Spielberg-ness of them. Like this dude has been making movies and making art and watching movies and being a part of that industry for 30, 40 years since then. And things change. He makes movies differently now. Like nobody's trying to make the same piece of art that they made 30 years ago. Yeah. So you have to like be like, okay, well things are going to evolve and be different. But then there are moments that genuinely felt like Steven Spielberg just has the same sensitive heart and soul that he had when he made those movies.
Yeah. Well, Steven Spielberg has made the most important movies of our life and before our lifetime. I mean, we talk about E.T. and Jaws and like these are movies that all existed before we were born, and we are full-ass grown-fledged adults right now. Full-ass grown-fledged. I'd make up a new term.
We're big dogs.
We're big dogs.
We're big dogs. Yeah, we get off the porch. We go out.
I do agree. I agree that the sentimentality of Steven Spielberg is there in a way that I haven't felt from him in a very long time. Look, I enjoyed The Fabelmans as well. I enjoyed West Side Story as much as I can. I'm not a huge West Side Story person, but it was effective filmmaking, and he did a great job. And obviously, he has a passion for that subject or for for the musical. He's got a passion for the subject matter of, turf wars, obviously.
Romeo and Juliet.
So the sentimentality is there. Does it hit me the same way as E.T. or Close Encounters does? Obviously, it does not. Visually, this movie looks closer to what I don't want to say modern Spielberg because these movies are older, but something like Minority Report or War of the Worlds or something along those lines. But I do agree that the set pieces are really fun. Abby mentioned the train scene. There's some really great action. There's some really great camera work. There's everyone, the oneer that they do at the farmhouse where the camera's following behind Josh O'Connor and he's behind the fence and it loops around and he steals the car and drives it through the house. Like all that stuff's really fun. The subject matter of the movie is also really interesting because like it's actually touching on something like right now, the discussion in like society about UFOs and UAPs and like that's not like when the X-Files came out, it still kind of felt like people are like, there's a certain group of people who talk about this stuff, but most people roll their eyes. But I mean, this is very much in the news more than it's ever been.
Let's I think we need to stop and take a little break on the film itself.
Okay.
And I think we need to roundtable all three. I think it's important for the listeners and for each other to know what each of us thinks as
about
far
Roller
as
Girl.
As far as Roller Girl,
Roller Boogie, guys.
She went
Get
back
it
and
right.
got her GED.
Hell yeah.
No. As far as do we think aliens exist? Do we think aliens are visiting?
100%. There's a couple. There's like 3 or 4 core questions I would like. 100%.
You're going first, Craig, because we're roundtabling.
Here's the first question. Let me throw out the actual questions and we'll roundtable each of them and talk to your heart's desire. The first question: do we think like this movie presents a world where not only do aliens exist, but they have been visiting and the government is well aware of it and there's some sort of established relationship there? Abby, I'll start with you. Do you think in the world we live in, there is alien life visiting Earth? I think all of us have already said, like, I think most rational people think there's some sort of life outside
Why don't you let me say that?
Well, Abby, we're out of time.
Fucking talking. Well, it's my turn. I want to believe is what I'm going to say. I think that's pretty succinct. I would love for there to be extraterrestrial life. I was raised in like a evangelical Christian biblical home where it's like we believe in God and Satan and all this stuff, but didn't believe in aliens. So as an atheist now, there's something very exciting to think about. Like there could be species out there that are way smarter than us, that are doing other things and that we're not alone. I think that's an awesome idea. So I am very open to the idea of there being aliens. And I also, on this note, want to point out that Craig and I were very excited in the car earlier today because we were thinking about how excited Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 is, how excited he's going to be about this movie.
About Disclosure Day. This is a huge day for him.
It got us excited.
This is his Jaws. Okay, so Abby, Jacob, same question.
Yeah, I think the unit, like what we know about the universe and the planets and how big the universe and multiple universes are, it makes zero sense to think that there wouldn't be like some sort of life out there other than us. I don't think that means that they're little gray dudes that are humanoid walking around or flying around spaceships. I don't know if that part of it, that's just like our limited creativity and thinking that they look similar like us. You know what I mean? Like that, they could look like anything. But I do think there's something out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you have a follow-up? Is your follow-up, do we think they visit?
Do we think they've... Well, I think the question is, do we think they visit? Do we think world governments are hiding something?
Let me answer that. 100% not. I don't think aliens are visiting planet Earth because there's zero credible evidence for that. Everybody who claims to have seen a UFO or like it's just either unexplained or can be explained, just not by you. And I'm not saying that every person who says, "Oh, I saw something and I don't know what it was." Sure, I believe you saw something, but just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean you're being abducted or it was an alien. I don't think they're hanging out on planet Earth at all.
Okay.
Heard. Yeah. I'd have to say that yes, as a atheist, which I've already stated, I'm a skeptic, and I do think, like you're saying, Jacob, there's an explanation for everything. If you see a little light, it could be a lens flare. That
especially in a Steven Spielberg movie.
I think that there's psychological experiences and phenomena that people can't experience and think like, oh, something might have happened to me. And emotions will make your brain do all sorts of things. So I don't think it's happening all the time. And but I love the idea of it. I can say that.
Yeah, same. I wish it was happening, but I've seen plenty of like videos of debunking UFO videos, and they're like, people who are much smarter than I am, who know how to go in and figure out if some of these videos are either visual effects or this or and it's like, whatever, a couple months back when the military released
all the videos,
all those videos, like I think the thing that a lot of people get hung up on is UFO means unidentified. It doesn't mean alien. So like the government coming out and saying this is a UFO, people are like, oh fuck, aliens are real. Right. That's not what they're saying. They're saying
we don't know.
There's something in this video that they don't know what it is. But if you just go online and look at, plenty of people have said like, okay, well, let's analyze it, and people have figured out what a lot of those things are. It's just not aliens.
And it's always like the grainiest footage from a pilot, and the pilot's always going, man, I ain't never seen something move like that.
Look how fast.
Yeah, well, let me give my opinion.
Over 6.
I think of the three of us, I would be the most likely to. I think I'm also a skeptic, but I think maybe I would be less prone to being skeptical. Maybe I think all of us want to believe. As somebody who just worked for a corporation for 13 years and somebody who finds the United States government to be just the biggest buffoons ever, the odds of these types of secrets, it's the same thing when people talk about like shadow governments and stuff. It's like I've never seen any evidence or proof that shows me that like this type of worldwide conspiracy would be able to be like kept under wraps in like a reasonable, and that's what the movie's about. The movie's about, I mean, it's the same as like people who think we've never gone to the moon or that the earth is flat. It's like there's zero chance that the amount of people that it would take to make us all believe that would be able to keep that. It's just you couldn't do it.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, and we also live in a world right now where anybody with a camera and a microphone can get on YouTube, obviously, and say whatever they want and make really convincing arguments. So here's what I'll say. I do not necessarily believe in a creative force, inventing the world like a god, a deity. I don't. I think if they were to come out and say that, all humans are some form of artificial intelligence developed by some, alien species, like that makes more sense to me than there's a divine God who has, invented human life on Earth and Earth alone. And then you get into all the religious context of all of it. It doesn't make sense to me. I think one thing, the universe is so mysterious and we've learned a lot about it through science, but there's so much we don't know. And we actually don't know the truth about parallel universes or alternate universes or timelines through string theory existing at the same time. So like, who's to say these things that people are saying aren't, I think there's likely a more scientific and complex and complicated explanation to some of the mysteries of the universe that goes beyond what our simple brains like to create, which is, like Jake was saying earlier, little gray men traveling from light years away to visit. Also, like, if you had the technology to travel like Earth is the shittiest theme park you could go to. Like,
Well,
why would you even want to come here? Like, what do we, besides Steven Spielberg movies, we don't have much else to offer you.
Well, the other thing is that we always assume that if aliens exist, they are so technologically advanced that they can do that kind of travel. And it's like, there could be a whole universe out there with several planets that have life that's just as advanced as us.
Right.
We can't
maybe
make
not
it
as advanced. Maybe it's all the kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can't put the alien on a pedestal.
That's
It's all
what I'm
the
saying.
kid from Baby, like a whole planet of that guy.
It's a whole
Yeah.
planet of babies. Yeah, it's just like it's
planet.
Go ahead.
Yes, I agree with both of y'all on these points, as I'm like literally in the moment thinking. I think that the universe is too vast, and the idea that we are alone seems kind of narcissistic and like small-minded. And I just feel like it's got to be going on. What we have going on has to be going on somewhere else in some way, shape, or form. Maybe that like makes me, I don't know what that makes me.
I just hope.
Go for it.
I hope in whatever planet where life exists, I just hope they're not like locked into 9 to 5 dumbass day jobs like we are. You know what I mean?
They figured it out in a better way.
They know how to party.
Exactly. I hope they don't have this government system where they're all starving and they can't afford food or rent. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get on
or healthcare. Yeah,
healthcare.
Well, let me ask you guys this though, because this is one of the questions.
It's gotten really dark in here, by the way. The same thing happens all the time whenever we record in the middle of the day. I don't use my OT light because it's bright enough. But
Dude,
then a storm rolls in, and now it's like
You
the
look
only
like you're
light
about to
you're
do
getting is-
disclosure.
It's moody. It's fucking moody as fuck. It's a vibe. Do not change it.
Yeah,
It looks like you're in like the belly of a ship or something.
Let me ask you guys
or
this.
whale.
Yes. The
One
whale
of the
fall.
questions, or one of the scenarios that this movie talks about, in any movie that's like about the end of the world, like they in Armageddon or Independence Day, they always go, the fabric of society will fall apart because of religious upheaval. We even saw it in Ghostbusters, like formerly the church won't give any comment on this recent phenomenon. It's like they always go to the church and how people would react. So one thing this movie does is says that the argument for keeping all of this stuff a secret is that the world would not be able to handle it and society would fall apart. And then when they show the disclosure actually happening in all the videos, the entire world stops and we all pay attention. Like, I actually think both of those things would not happen. Like, I think if they came out tomorrow and said that alien life existed and they visited Earth, like, I actually, and maybe this is a cynical, I don't think much would change on the day to day, at least in our circle.
People wouldn't be phased because of like iPad touchscreen culture or
just
ADHD
desensitized
or
to
just
everything.
desensitized.
So, or people would think it was fake, or I don't know. I really don't know how people would actually act or react.
I don't either, but it's hard for me to believe that it would make no difference, especially on, at the end of this movie, spoilers again, they're not just coming out and saying, hey, aliens exist. We've had people try to do that and everybody's like, no, they don't, or they're whatever. But this movie ends with like tons of footage, proof, hard proof that Roswell happened, hard proof that this has been kept from you your whole life, that the technology is being used. It's being used as weapons. And then it literally ends with an alien showing up and being like getting on air, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that would have a massive impact. And we would, like Abby said, everybody's freaking out over a stupid fucking basketball game. Do you think they wouldn't freak out if alien
That's
stuff
what I'm
happened,
saying. Artemis 2, dude, like the fucking landing.
exactly. Like I
that
think
was the
people
huge
would be
deal.
into it.
So you're saying if Gail Weathers finally got her big interview with the alien at the end of the movie,
Oh my god, it would
but
not be a practical alien, and I would be upset.
But I'll say this: it's impossible to know what they don't show. What the actual the movie ends. You know what I mean? Like the movie ends there. You don't actually see. You don't actually see like the outcome of how people are going to act, and I think it's really hard. I do think some religious people would just. I don't want to be like offensive to anybody who might be listening, but I do think that a lot of religious people would just be too hard-headed and be like, nope, I believe this and it's still possible. You know, and maybe it is, who knows? But I just don't think.
I mean, Abby, does the Bible...
You're saying that a majority of religious people would discount this and say it's not really happening and deny it?
Or that it's demonic, or that
they're demons.
Yeah, because
they would call them demons.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, which
it's a test, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Does the Bible say anything about extraterrestrial life? And like, I'm actually asking.
There's a verse that's actually referenced in the movie,
sure.
and I wish we had it. It's like that God created. You could take that from the first verse of Genesis. God created the heavens and the earth, the heavens being space, which means any of that territory belongs to God. So you could, as a religious person, find a loophole. And I think growing up, that's kind of how I used to think about it. It was like, okay, it would be really cool if there were aliens, but also living that life where I didn't believe in aliens was kind of lame, and I wish I had seen E.T. and like seeing it as an adult now, I'm like, I would have fucking loved that movie. So yeah, I know that this movie has lit something within me that loves like extraterrestrial life and space travel and just a fucking good, exciting movie that everyone can come together and watch. So yeah,
and the plot of the movie, this is one thing I really liked about and so there's certain movies that have come out over time where there's the mystery of the world. Like I'm thinking about movies like Contact or Mission to Mars, where like the end, like there's something a little bit more like even though it's not spiritual in the traditional sense, there is a spiritual, like humanity witnessing something greater than them that could teach them.
Yes.
And that's what I really liked about the reveal at the end of the movie, where they're going to bring the alien who's like an older alien in a wheelchair, that Coleman Domingo, you know, all of these whistleblowers have left this organization to give disclosure to the world. It's really, really cool. And it's fascinating to think about. The plot of the movie is that essentially these two human beings were hand selected to almost be vessels of communication at some point between alien life and the people of Earth. They present as animals, right? To help our brains, our small, tiny brains can't comprehend
the children,
which I kind of liked that. Jacob, how did you react as somebody who's we're all animal lovers, but you have a deep passion for these creatures as well. Do you did you like the way they presented that? Is that something you could get behind from a
I mean, I mean, it makes sense because of the whole thing is like they're presenting that way because they're trying not to frighten the children. You know what I mean? And like, if you take it out of context, the scenes where the two kids are abducted and are kind of being, I don't know exactly what's happening, but they're being given their gifts or whatever. Yeah. It's terrifying. If you're 7, years old and you're taken aboard a spacecraft. So I thought that whole like gingerbread house thing where the animals lead you up to the gingerbread house.
Yeah.
But it's not a gingerbread house. They're taking you on the spaceship. Like that's terrifying on one level, but then also you're like, okay, well, it makes complete sense trying to get these kids on the ship without freaking out. They're crazy looking aliens. So no, I thought that stuff was all cool. And I do think, talking about the ending and something you were saying earlier, Greg, I do think this is a very optimistic version of like this story being told. I think, and like you said, it's easy for an older filmmaker who's been making films his whole life. It's just easy as an older person in general to feel, bitter and annoyed with everything. And the fact that this movie ends and you can like see that Steven Spielberg still has inside of him, whatever he had when he made Close Encounters in E.T., and he still has that like sense of awe inside him and is the optimism for like this being maybe the best version of aliens showing up. That all felt very special to me. And it was like, you know, when there were specific moments in that third act where the music and the shots and even the writing made me start thinking like, oh, I am 41 years old and I'm getting my wish that I would watch one more Steven Spielberg movie that feels like a Steven Spielberg movie, and this is happening. And maybe it's not exactly like E.T., and maybe it's a little different, but it is like the evolved version of that.
Yes. I felt that same excitement and like reward of like, yes, I am 40 years old. It is 2026 and I'm sitting in a movie theater marveling at Steven Spielberg's the way he harnesses childlike wonder, and like the way that I felt when I saw E.T. for the first time. It's the reason I watch E.T. over and over again. Like,
but distinctly, you did not get the sense that he was trying to recreate those movies either, which I like a lot.
That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say. It made me feel specifically, since I've gotten, you know, I saw this movie on opening night, which was June the 11th, which I don't know if you guys know why that day is significant to go see a Steven Spielberg movie in the theater. June 11th is the day Jurassic Park came out. This movie came out on, you know, Jurassic Park's birthday. So, but in the days since then, it has made me think a lot about like J.J. Abrams and The Force Awakens and Super 8 and like Stranger Things, because even though I loved Super 8 and I loved Force Awakens, those movies are that shit is all fake. Like that is the Spielbergness that you get out of watching Super 8 or Stranger Things.
It's like an overlay.
That is generated to specifically pull at your hearts, and that is all fake. Those lens flares are fake. It's all exactly. It's like an Instagram fucking filter,
right?
And even though I like some of that content, now that I'm watching Steven Spielberg do it the right way again, it's like, oh, this is how it should be. This is the real thing. This is the person who like those things only exist because Steven Spielberg, that was just his natural way of moving the camera or writing dialogue or whatever.
And I'm really glad that you brought this up, Jacob, because I was thinking about this a lot too, as far as what the plot of this movie is. They drop you right into it. The plot of this movie in a different writer, a different filmmaker's hands is some sort of MacGuffin of we're trying to find the files from the protagonist. Like obviously the antagonist, the Colin Firth character, they're trying to find the files, but that the movie is not
Mia shout out. Sorry, Colin.
The movie is not about the search for the files that will unlock the disclosure. The movie is about these two characters and their experience. And that's where J.J. Abrams really missed the mark on Star Wars. Like imagine if the plot of The Force Awakens was not the search for Luke Skywalker, but the plot was something framed in the sense of Luke Skywalker exists and this is his journey. There's people looking for him, but like we're not going to go down the Rise of Scott. We're just not going to do that today because we're having fun. But that movie, the fucking Wayfinders, also an hour in. Jesus Christ, the fucking Wayfinders.
Yeah, dude, we were talking about this with Alex Brewer.
So this movie is about a couple different things. This is about obviously how would the world react to disclosure. This is about people being given a gift and what do you do with that gift. This movie's also a little bit about this government agency having alien technology and not using it for the right things, right? They have that's the one thing where they have the rods, and they can dive into people's minds. And I'm really glad. What I love about this movie is they don't over explain lore. They just give it to you as is. You start right in the middle of it. So there's an intensity, but it doesn't treat the audience like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, the movie's it's 2.5 hours long, and there's a lot of story to get through. And Steven Spielberg knows that, like, you can drop them right in the middle of something insane happening, and that's like what gets people hooked. And then you can just drop they just drop stuff here and there that it, like those rods, like you get enough, like you see the aliens using them in a flashback, like you get enough to know. But it's like you don't
tech. They could do crazy.
You don't need to know
it.
the rules. You don't. You just don't need to know all that. Well, it doesn't make sense.
I think
we don't need to know about the Alien Liberation Front or any of that shit. It's like just a story of actual liberation, which is like fucking heartwarming and amazing, and almost like gives me vibes from like Wicked a little bit, where it's like, hey, we should fucking consider how we're treating living things. I think that's really cool. But yeah, like the very beginning of the movie is it brings up so many questions. You are literally being dropped right in it, which is an incredible writing technique that I think Stephen King and Steven Spielberg both do really well, where it's like, oh shit, I'm in like a wrestling environment. It's strange. I didn't expect that from this alien movie that I'm coming to see.
I love
and
that.
it's like, yeah, I'm like, oh, this is AEW, WWE. Like, what are we?
It's
getting
Win
here?
Pro
MMA?
Wrestling. They made it up.
I just wish it was. I was like, is this a real wrestler or is this an actor? I couldn't tell. I was like, I don't know.
I bet they're real wrestlers in some capacity. We'll have to look it up.
Probably real professional entertainers, superstars.
And also, you know what I was glad? I'm glad it didn't start with the world is at the brink of war. It's like, they just drop it in. You hear it in the background. You piece it together because you're smart, people. The studios don't think you're smart. That's why Obsession has made $200 million because you're smarter than these executives think you are.
You don't need the exposition scene.
Yeah, and you know, Craig, you were saying earlier, this movie is doing well. It's made $100 million already. I mean, movie theaters are in a good spot right now. It seems like going back to the movies is something. I think like Obsession and Backrooms and those movies doing so super well, and then like throwing a Steven Spielberg blockbuster in a couple weeks late, like they're trying, and it's
fun here.
They're doing. I don't know like what 100 million means to Steven Spielberg or what that. I did read that it's one of his biggest openings for like a original story that he's ever had, but I don't fucking know.
But this is the stuff that'll make it later this summer when we're seeing Spider-Man. It'll feel more fun because we've gotten a great variety. I think that's the whole thing about going to the movies. Like, let's see some original horror. Let's see an original Steven Spielberg. Let's see some Spider-Man. Maybe Supergirl will be fun. I don't know, but all I know is like we're having fun. And movies are doing, you know, what they're supposed to be doing, which is entertaining us.
It's been a good couple of weeks at the movies. Listen, we haven't even talked about, and I guess we're not going to, we did all go see Masters of the Universe. Some of us enjoyed it. Some of us thought it was awful. But it's just like you said, though, even though one of us thought it was awful, I bet they still had a good time watching it. I did. I still had fun. I still had fun going to the movie theater in New York City and watching.
For Masters, I found myself thinking about it in the days following more than I was expecting, because little things I was remembering, and maybe it was just I was with a great group of people in the Big Apple. But maybe we should do some bonus content on
We'll do let's do a bonus.
You want to do that? I was going to say do a pee break and then come back. But yeah, I'm really glad. It's like having popcorn at the movie theater or like seeing fireworks in the summertime. Like it just feels appropriate to have something like a nice offering from Steven Spielberg that we can all enjoy together and come together and talk about. I think it's awesome. I was going to compare it to a main course. It feels like the protein that we needed to keep us going. I absolutely am so happy. I think we're all very lucky to be eating this well.
So I've got one last discussion topic for Disclosure Day, and then we'll do whale fall and we'll get the fuck out of here. All right. So because this movie asks a lot of questions about, and these are my favorite types of questions, like the philosophical, like, what is our place in the universe? What are the mysteries of the universe? Is there something out there? Is there something more? These are the questions, especially as you get older. I don't want to speak for you guys, but these are some of the things that I ask myself sometimes. I think this is some of the stuff that leads people to, religion and spirituality, because it's like, there's got to be more. There's got to be answers out there. Whether there is or isn't is not for us to say, but it does lead me to this question, and I didn't prep you guys for this. So if you're not coming up with something profound, don't be hard on yourself. But if alien life were to come shed a little bit of light on the universe in general, whether that's our life, our capacity to understand our surroundings, the history of the universe, the cosmos, is there something you would want to know? Like, if you had one question, not one wish, I'm not saying come give me $1 million, Mr. Alien, come make Nikki love me. We saw how that goes. But like, is there like a burning question that you have about the universe or your place in it that you would actually be interested in exploring with one of these creatures if they had the ability to answer?
I mean, what comes to my mind first is something that I don't know if they could answer, and it probably comes from my religious upbringing, which is there life after death? That's just something I would like to know.
No, I mean, that's what I'm asking.
If your consciousness goes on, and also like what format, how, you present after death, like what happens, is something that I would be very curious about, because I like to plan things out, and if I'm going to have a lot of time ahead of me.
I could answer that question for you right now.
No, Jacob.
Jacob, don't let me think. Let me think. Maybe it could.
I like when you said what format. Is it VHS? Is it DVD?
Do I become DVD?
Floppy disk,
Blu-ray?
If you could pick the physical media.
But Abby, you're talking about the survival of consciousness. Is there?
Do you guys know anything about that? Is that something?
You guys know anything about that? Sure.
Do you guys?
I'm right there with you.
Cool.
I like it.
I don't have any specific question, but I would just be curious about like what I would be more curious about, like, oh wait, well, where are you guys? Where do you live? How many are there? Other plant? Like, are there more? Are there ton? Like if an alien species showed up and they were intelligent enough to communicate with us and travel and all that, I would be like, whoa, are there 100 different alien species? Do you guys eat living things on your planet like the fucking crazy people do here? Like, I would be curious about that kind of stuff. I would want to know. I would just want to know what the deal is. Like, is it better where you're at? Do you guys still have, like, are you guys still fighting like we fight? You know what I mean? Like, I would be curious. Like, you guys laugh at us because we don't have our shit together. Like,
so that's
vegan options.
Listen, you're actually touching on something really important, which is like, and that's what the movie is asking, is like, are we actually an extremely stupid, primitive species? And like,
well, what makes us that way, and the way that we treat the extraterrestrial life? Like,
we treat the extraterrestrial life, we're doing like the same way that we treat the Earth and everybody else. Like,
which is not great.
Right?
We can't treat the things that live here with respect. How do we think like we're gonna treat aliens?
I think these are both great answers. I mean, I think one thing I will say, and this does not come from necessarily like a religious perspective, because I'm not a religious person. I'm not necessarily a spiritual person, although I do. I think the universe is just fascinating from a scientific perspective. Like, just I do feel, and I don't even know if this is answering the question, but I have a strong feeling that our brains do not have the capacity to perceive all of our surroundings. We have our 5 senses, right? Taste, smell, hearing, Ghostbusters, whatever they are. That was a joke, guys. I feel like there's probably
Serious.
okay. I'm being serious right now. So, what are those 5 senses? Hear, smell, touch,
And Ghostbusters.
and Ghostbusters. I would want to know is there something not necessarily profound, right? Like you always hear people saying, like when you die and you go to the afterlife, you'll experience everything in a way that you can't even perceive it right now because you don't have the humans. Like I'm not talking about that necessarily, but what I am, because I'm not even talking about like after death. I'm talking about like in the now. Is there anything we're missing because we're not our brains have not evolved enough into
right.
like I personally believe that when you die, you're gone, and I would love to believe in the survival of consciousness and becoming part of the fabric of the universe and all of that. But I haven't seen the evidence that leads me to believe that. Especially like I don't necessarily want to get into this, but when we talk about like a divine, all loving God, like look at the world we live in. It's fucked up on so many levels. So it's really hard for me to understand that, and it's hard for me to dig into, you know. I mean, I killed like 2 roaches this morning. Like, you know, what makes like, I don't think there's much for them afterwards. I wish I could have given them more than I gave them. But from the perspective of the universe and what we see, feel, hear, smell, and touch, and Ghostbust, I don't know. Is there more? Like, I know I'm kind of rambling, but let's say the human species still exists in 5,000 years. When they look back at us, what are they going to be like? Holy shit, those people were fucking idiots. Like
You had to use your hands.
It's like a baby's toy. Well, it's like when we think about 300 years ago, the way human beings lived, when they would leave their homes. And spend a lifetime to get to the West Coast. That is something we can do in a couple of hours.
Right. There are people.
Let's go.
There are people that lived on Earth that died before dinosaurs were ever discovered and just lived their entire life not knowing that dinosaurs were a real thing. So it would, and I mean, it's like, well, who's to say something else crazy won't be discovered about the Earth 100 years from now, or will be. So it would be cool. I would be like, hey, is Nessie? Do you guys know if like Loch Ness monsters? It's not, but like, but also like, how that's just assuming they
would Kickstarter for cryptoids.
Yeah, but hey, but also like you're also just assuming that if an alien race showed up, they would know all that. Why would they know things like that about?
I know.
Our
like, why
planet?
would they know if there's life after death? Right. I know.
Right. How many Star Wars movies are made after I die? Like I am approaching this in a very
you guys are getting
selfish
real
manner.
Close to,
selfish, small-minded. Yeah.
But I do think about the human race and like, hey, there's plenty of people who lived full lives before electricity. And they couldn't comprehend what an iPhone is because they couldn't even comprehend what a fucking light switch is. Right. So it's like, you know, I'm not small-minded enough to think that like, especially with like the advancement of technology. Like I was joking about it with Abby today. Like we were sitting in traffic and there was a Waymo behind us. I was like, it's kind of crazy. There's a self-driving car behind us and we don't care. Right. So technology is advancing very quickly. Will technology unveil secrets of the universe? I don't know.
I want to know. This is something nobody can know, but I think it's very fascinating to think about. At some point, I was listening to a podcast and they were kind of talking about this concept about how every trace of every human being at some point is going to be gone. Like there will be a moment in time, who knows? This could be billions of years from now. It could, you know, who knows? Nobody knows. But it's like everything that's ever been created, every like movie that you love, every piece of art or music or anything, at some point, none of it is going to exist anymore. Like humans will go away and every trace of us will fade into nothingness. And, the thing that I find interesting about that is just wondering when and how that is going to happen, because like there are different ways that could happen, and I have like read and watched, people much smarter than me talk about like, oh well, in this many years something like this will happen, or there'll be an extinction event, and that could be a number of things. But it is just a crazy thing to think about. Like one day this planet will just be.
Well, the sun will eventually burn out. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but also like I've seen some scientists, some smart people say like the most likely thing is the Earth getting hit with another meteor or something.
Yeah.
But then I also watched an interview with a guy who was like, yeah, but so the asteroid that killed out the dinosaurs,
I know where this is.
That wouldn't kill. If that hit, that wouldn't happen to us. Like it would kill a lot of us, but they're like, we're smart enough that we could possibly knock that asteroid out of orbit, or enough of us would go underground that we wouldn't go extinct. Or it's like it's just
you
weird.
Do Tim's quote from Jurassic Park. There's another scientist. There's another scientist, and he said.
No, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. It's just a weird thing to think about. Like none of the shit that we.
It's a fantastic place to let your mind
burn a firework on your hand. Burns your hand.
I love the movie WALL-E, because it's about that. Like after everyone's gone and has moved on, and what's left of the earth. I absolutely love that movie. And I feel like there was like a History Channel or like a sci-fi, or there was a series about like probably like in the late 2010s or something like that.
Pawn Stars.
It was about how the world, like what will carry on after us, and like there was like it was like how ivy and the earth will reclaim places, and roaches will continue to last and eat off cardboard. And I am always fascinated by that. Like a world without people and how that precipitates is very interesting.
I mean, this opens so many
would just start
avenues.
Over. It would all just
right?
start
like
over.
there's whole History Channel shows about the notion of like advanced civilizations already existing and being completely wiped out on Earth before, and like whether or not any of that's real, who the fuck knows? Probably not, but maybe. And then like there's the whole, this gets into, I don't know, Jacob, how you feel about any of this kind of stuff, but there are like, if you listen to like modern parapsychologists who talk about like what some human beings in the world have perceived as magic, things like telepathic or manifestation and things like that, there might actually be like actual scientific studies. I knew it was coming. Not. I knew it was coming. But what
There's
I'm
no
saying
such thing as telepathy.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm a little bit more.
What? What do you think? That's a big. You're telling me you believe there are people out there who there's X-Men out there?
I think there's really good con artists.
I think there's some great con artists. I'm not. Yeah. Hey, here's what I'll say. I think anybody who's ever gone on TV and said that they could talk to the dead are full of shit.
Yeah, because I agree. Yeah, this is a weird episode.
I like what is happening.
Yeah, I'm like looking at my notes here, and one of them is where the fuck was E.T.? Because I feel like we should have seen E.T. in this movie.
Disclosure Day? Little cameo? I mean, he showed up in fucking Phantom Menace. Why can't he show up in Disclosure Day?
I appreciate
I thought an old, ragged Richard Dreyfuss was going to be sitting in that wheelchair instead of that alien at the end, and I thought he was just going to start talking about civics.
Dude, it's just Richard Dreyfuss from the end of What About Bob when he's in the wheelchair and he's just catatonic.
Yes.
Well, I did pose the question to you guys, like, so I'm glad I remember this. They wheel out the alien, and there's going to be a translation of his words by our main character, played by Emily Blunt, and what he says is my catchphrase, which is listen. What do we think happened right after that?
You are all fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I assume that in the world of Steven Spielberg, in this universe, I assume he's about to impart a wisdom and a technology, and he's about to bring the planet together. Like Steven Spielberg, like I said earlier,
right.
This is a very optimistic movie, and I think Steven Spielberg is a very optimistic filmmaker. And I think the inclination is that things are about to get really good, and this war is about to become a thing of like we're a thing of the past.
Well, I took it literally.
I think real life that's how it would go down. No, but
I think he said listen, and then they rolled out a Casio keyboard, and he played
karaoke.
He played the song from
from Close Encounters.
From Close Encounters. Yeah, no, he didn't play. Yeah, he played a song, and he played the
Jurassic Park.
He played
Jurassic Park.
He played Jurassic Park's.
How does that close?
No, I think he played the music from Close Encounters. There was people who early on were theorizing this was going to be a secret sequel, but anytime there's secret sequel discussion, we get excited. But
I mean, listen, that I would have been excited for that. That would have been cool if it was in there somewhere. Whenever all the different alien things were on the screens, I was like, all right, there's going to be a picture of Richard Dreyfuss coming out of the spaceship, coming back, or
the probe
something
from the first South Park.
But also, like, I don't think that's in Steven Spielberg's. No. He's not that kind of guy.
No, that's more J.J. Abrams, Cloverfield, like.
Yeah.
And also, can we talk about how like there's a whole new generation of people going to see movies who love movies, who maybe have never even seen Close Encounters. Like it's a little bit.
Yeah.
We got to remember that movie's 50 fucking years old.
Yes.
When we were at the Videodrome today, I'm looking at all these Gen Zers. They're all freaking out over used DVDs and getting excited to watch movies that like somebody was buying like something. I can't remember what movie it was, but it was something. I was like, why do they care? But it's like they've never seen it. They're excited. But I'm like, you've never seen fucking Ratatouille? Like,
well, it's like I saw the girl Indy from Obsession did her Letterboxd top 4, and her second movie on her top 4 was Shrek 2.
Yeah.
Yes, people love Shrek. Younger generation really like responds to Shrek as a father figure. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say is I actually did make a note about how tremendously evocative this movie was of Close Encounters, both in style and having two star-crossed characters that aren't really supposed to be together, like spending a lot of the movie together, and that building some tension. And that reminded me of some of the dynamics from Close Encounters when Richard Dreyfuss is just like, all right, fucking take off, leave your family. It's kind of an exciting journey to follow along with. And I really liked that tension that kind of existed between Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt, especially on the train scene where she's like having a panic attack and he grabs her hand and like puts it to the piano wires. I think that that scene made me like, I was like, I don't care what the rest of this movie does. This is making me so happy. And I love this. Yeah.
I love that.
And I've been drawing little aliens on my like book. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good too. Sorry, something you said was reminding me of young people and the things that they quote.
You doing some research?
No, it was
research?
Did you type in young people?
No, it was
What do young people like to say?
Young people.
When the Knicks won last night and the whole team's on the fucking thing. Yeah. These guys are all under 30 and they were all going, mine. And I was like, what do they do? What is this?
Minions? Is that
Minions? No, it's from Finding Nemo.
It's from Finding Nemo.
Oh, fuck.
Which is probably a very formative movie for their youth. We were quoting, back to
the Seagulls also are saying that in Finding Nemo. I get that.
See, when I was 4 years old, there's a home video of me standing butt ass naked in the hallway with a towel around my head. I had one of those towels that had a little hood and just was hanging off. And I was just free balling at 4 years old. And my mom's filming me. And I look at the camera and I go, what are you looking at, butthead? Because I didn't have Finding Nemo. I had fucking Biff Tannen. Stay out of your mom for me. We are the better generation. We just are.
I remember getting in trouble for playing Super Mario and getting a power up that I was looking for, and then quoting the Penguin in Batman Returns, where he says, "Just the pussy I was looking for." In front of my mom, not knowing what I'm saying, but that's the movies I was quoting as a child.
I mean, literally, there's other footage of me. Like, I was obsessed with Back to the Future, but imagine a 4-year-old kid or a 5-year-old kid just looking, like opening the refrigerator and going, have your car towed all the way here, and all you have for me is a light beer, McFly. It's like, just like different generation, you know?
Yeah, whatever your thing is. Mine was the Macaulay Culkin, I Don't Think So, from Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. That was big. I remember using that in the household growing up.
I love it.
Yeah.
So guys, this
Respect to Finding Nemo.
Real quick, because this is we're coming up on 2 hours, which is it's been a longer episode.
That's okay.
This has been
You know
good.
what?
This has been good.
I burned this chocolate bar that Craig already had half of.
We're not on a
so
time
fucking
crunch.
mad at me for eating half of this chocolate bar.
I wanted to show it off as a full chocolate bar that I would earn by doing a good podcast. But you had half of it, so
hey,
only have half.
Wasn't that good? Sorry. I question these artisan chocolates when Hershey's and Nestle's exist. And Dove. I'm a Dove guy. Okay.
I like Dove.
Let's talk about Whalefall real quick because the trailer came out. This movie was not really on my my Whaledar.
Your Whaledar?
This movie was not on my radar. I did not even know it was based on a book, but the trailer came out last week. It is an upcoming American survival thriller directed and produced by Brian Duffield, based on the novel by Daniel Kraus. The film follows scuba diver Austin Abrams searching for the remains of his father, played by Josh Brolin. He gets swallowed alive by a whale. The trailer tells you all of this. Jacob, I know you were excited about this, but you seem to have a pretty visceral reaction to the trailer and wanted to talk about it. So we didn't do a full reaction video, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, this was on my anticipated movies of the year list.
Okay.
Which we talked about last year. I did read the book when it came out.
Okay.
Good book. I feel so torn on the trailer. First of all, I don't know if you guys noticed, the kid that's playing the main character is the kid from Weapons, the one who's like the druggy guy.
He's also in the I think he's going to be in the new Resident Evil. Yep.
He's the main guy in Resident Evil. Dude's everywhere. I'm split on this because on one, like, it looks the trailer is super intense, and I love that, like, scary underwater, like a giant, and I love what I'm seeing. But on the second hand, that is the scene. That is the scene. That is the hook of this movie. And they show you the trailer is just that scene.
Right.
And I'm a little annoyed that I've seen the whole thing already.
Yeah.
Without spoiling spoiling the book, is the after that happens in the book, is the rest of the movie of him or the book trying to escape? Is it flashbacks to his childhood? Like how? Because I see what you're saying.
So, yeah, the rest of the movie is, or the rest of the book is him and the whale, and he has a limited amount of time that he can stay in the. I think in the book he's got an hour. He's got like an hour.
Okay,
and
of course, oxygen.
The whole plot is that he had a strained relationship with his father, and so there's,
which is also the plot of
flashbacks are happening.
The movie,
exactly.
The, it's the same
the
plot.
flashbacks are happening while he's in the whale.
Yeah.
But like the scene with him getting eaten by the whale, like that is the big, like we've seen it. That is it. That's him. We watched him get eaten by the whale, and I was like super bummed that like the trailer was over, and I was like, oh. Well, they just showed it to it. Like, what a bold move to just show us that. They didn't just tease it.
Right.
It's a 2-minute trailer. It's a 2-minute trailer, and a minute and 50 seconds of it is the scene
Yeah.
with him getting eaten. Like, I'm sure it's a little longer in the
Sure,
movie. I'm sure
sure.
some stuff is cut, but we watch him go down the whale's throat. We see it. It's done.
Right.
And that
Yeah.
bummed me out. I want to see that on a big screen for the first time, not my iPad.
I get it. You want the build up to it and to have it. Yeah.
It's just a
I
weird,
understand.
that's just a bold move to just make that your trailer. Like, I know
I
that's
thought-
going to get, it's going to get people in, you know, like that's the kind of scene that gets people in the seats, but it's
Right.
like, dude, you showed us the money. That's the thing.
It actually,
If they,
go for it, App.
I was gonna say, if they had, instead of shown the money shot, which is him being inside the belly of the whale, it would have been good to just end on the like octopus or whatever kind of tentacle that is that grabs him and pulls him towards, like, less is more, and you don't want to show the whole thing for free. Like, you'd rather be like invested in it and be in a theater. So I completely understand what you're saying. It, however, did grab me because I think it's a fascinating, like, to have to escape from something like that. And as I've discussed, being raised in a biblical household, Jonah and the whales, like something that I was always fascinated by as a kid. And also the Decemberists have that great song about a whale. So yeah, I got excited watching the trailer, but I understand where you're coming from, Jacob, that it's not, it's just showing too much too soon for you.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I'm going to be there day one. I like the book a lot, and the plot is just insane, but it is like, you showed it to me already.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
that being said, I've compiled a list of trailers throughout history that have revealed too much, and I'm going to reveal the name of the movie and the trailer and what was revealed, and you tell me if that was a bigger spoiler or a bigger bummer than the whale fall eating the man reveal.
Well,
God, I'm a wordsmith.
Well, hold on. To be fair, though, him getting swallowed by the whale is not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
It's gonna
Okay, I
happen
see what
early
you're
in the film, and any time you read a synopsis, it's the plot. He's swallowed by a whale and he has to get out of a whale. Like, that's,
You just don't want to see it. You want it in your head.
Yeah, but
until
why
you're sitting
show
there.
that? Right?
Right.
Why?
Yeah,
That is
it's
a-
a reveal.
That belongs on a
Blowing
movie
you
theater.
load.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to still read my list because these
Yeah,
are pretty
read it.
outrageous. Terminator Salvation 2009 trailers infamously spoiled a big plot twist that Sam Worthington's character Marcus is secretly a Terminator. Do we care?
Sam Worthington. Well, they
Zero
also.
fucks.
Well, wait. Well, what's crazy is another Terminator movie revealed that John Connor was a Terminator in the trailer.
Yep, exactly.
So all the Terminator, I don't remember the name of that one.
And then
Genesis.
another
Genesis.
Terminator movie killed John Connor in the beginning, and I was very sad.
What
Amazing
else?
Spider-Man 2 Sony's trailers featured footage from the final battle against Rhino, but also heavily telegraphed the tragic fate of Gwen Stacy. The movie sucks. Who
Mm.
cares?
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, zero fucks.
Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice. The second trailer notoriously revealed the film's ultimate villain, Doomsday, as well as Wonder Woman's iconic heroic entrance.
Cool.
Iconic.
Iconic. Yeah.
Wow. I give this zero fucks.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
What if they'd spoiled the Martha
That's
moment?
X-Men.
That would have been.
I just did the
I would
X-Men.
have been so sad.
What was the Wonder Woman's? Abby used to know Wonder Woman's.
No. How did it go? Someone play it. It's like
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close to X-Men.
Thor
That I want to listen to.
Thor Ragnarok, Marvel's marketing team showed Thor reuniting with the Hulk, a highly anticipated surprise that many fans wish would have been kept hidden. I don't
Okay.
even remember these. This is my favorite one. Castaway. Instead of focusing solely on the island premise, the trailer went on to show Tom Hanks being rescued and returning to civilization.
That's a fuck up.
That's insane.
That's a fuck up.
I don't have any off the top of my head, but I've seen plenty of trailers that have like the end of the movie in the trailer.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
And I'm sure I've talked. I feel like there was one sort of recently that we talked about on the show where I was like, the last shot of the movies in the trailer. Like, it's happened plenty of times.
Truman Show apparently shows him leaving the bubble up those stairs, which is funny. We talked about Thor. Let's see. They showed Spider-Man in the Civil War trailer. That's kind of people kind of knew. Terminator 2 originally they did not reveal that Arnold was a good guy, but they did in one of the trailers. And this has been happening for a very long time. So
yeah.
Well, listen, guys. Whale Fall. We're gonna see it. It's gonna be great.
October. Yeah, I'm excited.
Some would say we've already seen it. Yeah. I want to hear this Wonder Woman guitar riff. Can I play that?
You can do whatever you want. The show's over.
Get dinged.
Guys, this was a lot of fun.
Nobody's going to hear it but you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not going to hear it on ours.
I need to know for my own posterity.
It's where you're right. Well, we've answered a lot of questions today. We've had deep philosophical. Is Abby? We lost her.
She's listening to music.
Put
your Garfields on.
Yeah, I had to listen to the Close Encounters music now.
Jacob, any final thoughts on Disclosure Day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just. Yeah, there you go. Just excited about it. We good?
I don't know. Abby's. We've lost her.
Is she? Can she hear us?
I don't know.
I am like Richard Dreyfuss becoming one of the aliens now.
Okay.
So this is why we can't record 2-hour podcasts.
Yeah,
Abby
we've all gone insane.
It's silly.
The big dog has left the castle.
Big dog's left the building, dude. Yes. Disclosure Day. It was a good episode. I'm glad that we did this, and I'm glad that Steven Spielberg is still making amazing movies. And yes, that's about it, folks. This was fun.
Jacob, it's rumored that Westworld could be his next one. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I don't think that's true. I think just because he said it's a Western, he did say it's a Western, but do we?
And we
really
know David Koepp has been hired to rewrite.
To rewrite. I mean, I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Westworld, the movie.
Yeah. No, but I've seen the first season of the HBO show.
Yeah. I mean, who cares? If he wants to do it, let him do it. I kind of hope for something else original, but dude, he's on a roll.
All right.
Yeah.
We did it. We said it all. For Abigail Gardner and Jacob Walsh, my name is Craig Goldberg. You can listen to Yes Have Some Podcasts anywhere you find your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, amongst others. If you want the videos, you can always find us on the YouTube channel. Yes, Have Some Podcast. Hit that subscribe button for all of our various movie-related content, Ghostbusters content, trailer reactions, Ghostbusters videos, all sorts of stuff. And then you can also find us on our various spin-off shows, Tuesday nights, Toy Anxiety. Every other week, you've got YHS on Monster Island, featuring Jacob Walsh and Jay Key. And then on top of all that, we started a toy company this year, Cryptoids. We are in production now. Some more updates on that soon. And we will button this all up with a plug for our Patreon if you want even more from us on a monthly basis and a complete audio archive of bonus content. You can sign up at patreon.com/yeshavesome for as little as $5 a month and get all of that bonus audio, as well as access to the exclusive YHS Discord, where we have even further discussions about all the things we love, toys, movies, Ghostbusters, Star Wars, mental health, and a whole lot more. We'll see everybody next week. Thanks for being part of the YHS universe for the last 10 years. Goodbye.